It is hard to believe that this WrestleMania was seriously just 10 years ago. This is without a doubt one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time, WrestleMania 30. There were just so many things that happened in this event that really made this WrestleMania stand out for a whole lot of reasons. The video starts, if you guys could please like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's just get started. So WrestleMania 30, this was celebrating 30 years of WrestleMania. 30 years, all legends, all icons, champions, everything born on the grandest stage of all, which is WrestleMania. WrestleMania 30 was like a celebration to what we all have had for the last 30 years. And to start the show off, we had Hulk Hogan coming out, and he just cut his promo. He was thanking the fans for all the years, all the moments, all of the times that they had together at WrestleMania. Without Hulk Hogan, there would be no WrestleMania, I feel like. He started it off back in the 1980s and just kind of went on and talked about special moments and just kind of big moments that could happen. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin came out. Seeing these two have a face-to-face moment and makes me really wish that we really got to see a match between these two. So these two just stood in the ring. Stone Cold had nothing but a lot of respect for Hulk Hogan. And this was such a cool moment to see because it was almost like WWE was reminding us that this is what started the WWE and what made WrestleMania iconic with these two legends. And then finally, The Rock came out. And The Rock coming out to a pretty big pop was pretty insane to see as well. So seeing these three all talk and just share the ring together, it was such an iconic moment, and I don't think it will ever be topped by anything else. WrestleMania 30 continues. We get to our first match, which is Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. Now this match isn't really that hard to explain, like the whole story behind it. It was more so Daniel Bryan felt like he deserved to be in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture because during this time, WWE wasn't really listening to the fans and giving the fans what they wanted. And seeing how Daniel Bryan was fighting his way ever since SummerSlam of 2013, because this storyline's been going on since 2013, and Daniel Bryan wanted to be in the main event picture, but the authority just didn't see Daniel Bryan being that guy. Daniel Bryan did, however, fight Triple H at WrestleMania 30, and these two put on quite a bit of a match. It's kind of crazy to think, though, Triple H really put Daniel Bryan over. Daniel Bryan wins the match with a running knee, and Triple H goes on this attack mode. He attacks Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan was already injured going into this match with his right arm, and so now his arm is more injured. The thing was that made this match so interesting was whoever won this match was going to be in the main event title picture. Finally get to the next big match, I'd say, and this was John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Now this match was pretty simple. The story behind this match was John Cena worked his whole life up in the WWE, and Bray Wyatt just wanted to end the legacy of John Cena. He felt like John Cena was a phony. He felt like everything John Cena said was false. And Bray Wyatt really did play mind games with John Cena. He tried to get under John Cena's skin with any opportunity he could. Mind you, this is John Cena. This is Super Cena. RIP to Bray Wyatt, by the way. Watching this match and just seeing Bray Wyatt's entrance is just really sad for me because, you know, I grew up watching Bray Wyatt in some way. So to see how he's not necessarily around anymore, it really is sad to think about that, you know, we'll never get to see another match with him again. John Cena finally comes out. He makes his entrance, and these two put on quite a bit of a show. It was pretty fun. John Cena even got to the point where he took out both Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. And pretty much this whole entire match was just Bray Wyatt playing games with John Cena. He wanted John Cena to turn into that monster and to attack Bray Wyatt with the chair. And so he just kept testing John with anything he could. And it finally got to this point where John Cena attacked Eric Rowan and then just basically AA'd Bray Wyatt. And John Cena won the match. At the time, like when I watched it, I was more I did want Cena to win, but I think it would have been interesting to see if Bray Wyatt did beat John Cena and like how John Cena would have gone from there. There wasn't really anything else crazy that happened for a minute until finally we got to see The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Lesnar wants to come in and he wants to conquer the streak. He wants to beat the streak. So Undertaker's streak was on the line for WrestleMania. Undertaker went 21-0 for all those years, and there wasn't really much build-up because I just watched the whole story between these two not too long ago, and there wasn't really much build-up with these two. It almost made it feel like there wasn't much interest going on with this story, but obviously once we got to WrestleMania, it was insane to see how this all unfolded. Brock just wanted to beat the streak. It was just as simple as that. Brock felt like he deserved to have had something, a big moment in WrestleMania because he wasn't in the title picture. So then finally here he comes trying to defeat Undertaker. So Brock and Taker put on about a 40-minute match. Brock is destroying Undertaker. And after 3 of 5s, Brock Lesnar was the one to end the streak. And it was just such a crazy moment because initially Brock didn't even want to end the streak. A lot of people say that Brock didn't really need this win because he was already big as it was. And it's almost like this win just kind of made him a little bit bigger and more of like a serious threat in the WWE. It almost like it propelled him in some way. So that's really the big match of this WrestleMania. And then we finally got to the main event. Batista versus Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. Batista returned to the Royal Rumble and he said he was going to main event WrestleMania. And so who else was holding the championship but Randy Orton? So Randy Orton and Batista were both going to main event WrestleMania 30. And then like I was saying earlier with Daniel Bryan, he felt like he earned the right to be in the main event because of how he's been wrestling since SummerSlam of 2013 and he's been fighting his way to be at the top. Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Batista are all in the main event. And this fight was, at first it seemed like it was just a free-for-all, but then it got to this point where Randy Orton and Batista both started double-teaming Daniel Bryan, and it was almost like it made sense for them to eventually turn on Daniel Bryan because not only were they sick of Daniel Bryan themselves, obviously for storyline purposes, they were not only sick of Daniel Bryan themselves, but it was also made sense because, well, they used to be in Evolution. So those two were starting to try to take Daniel Bryan out. They did anything they could. They put him through a table. The spot where Batista turned the Batista bomb into an RKO, which was insane to see. And it was basically like these two were making sure Daniel Bryan would not walk out with the WWE Championship. And then it got to the point where Daniel Bryan was getting structured outside of the arena. Well, then he still had some fight left in him, and he comes back, tries to stop those two, and then finally comes Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They're trying to stop Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was able to take out everybody, and then it was just him and Batista left in the ring. He puts Batista in the yes lock, and Batista tapped out. And let me just tell you guys, this was probably one of the most wholesome, happy ending, fairy tale endings in all of WrestleMania history, I'd say, because seeing how Daniel Bryan has come through this long journey of going through such a tough battle with everything, and just seeing how he ended his story, and just being the one to become the WWE champion at the end of the show. I was happy to see how WrestleMania 30 concluded. I think some people don't really talk about 30 as much as opposed to like 17 or 19, but there's so many things that happened in the show that really just made it stand out, and it really felt like as if it was just a big celebration. And I just really enjoyed WrestleMania 30 for what it was trying to do. At WrestleMania 30, I feel like is just one of those things where it's just a good show to watch and just to enjoy and have fun with. So there's not really much else left for me to say. What were your guys' thoughts on WrestleMania 30? And maybe seeing how Daniel Bryan ended his story 10 years ago, it could happen the same for Cody for this year's WrestleMania, for WrestleMania 40. So let me know what you guys think about WrestleMania 30 overall. What were your guys' thoughts on this whole entire show? I'd really like to hear that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.